What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason and Joe here. Tier list Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, who knows? But it's also March, which means March badness is upon us, which means all month long we are doing bad music themed tier lists. And today we are talking about some of the worst cover songs of all time. We've got a nice little tier list set up. I don't think there's anything else we have to say about it. We're just gonna get right into it. All right, here we go. First up is 5 Seconds of Summer with their cover of American Idiot.
This has to be the most pointless cover on this whole list. Like that first of all, American Idiot doesn't scream like cover me as a song. Like they're classics that you're like, okay, like I know why you covered this, even though it sucked. But picking American Idiot like immediately, like you're maxing out at like D tier here.
Yeah,
And they suck. So it's
it
it's a D
it's
tier
it
probably.
D.
I know there's worse.
So we're talking, we're doing the same bad though, right? So
Oh, so
S is
okay, so
horrible. So it's A tier for you, is what you're
oh yeah,
saying?
it's definitely A tier. I know there's worse on here, but it's just
Yeah, I think so. Just seeing that they did American Idiot, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like S or A. But then I listened to it and it's actually, I mean, it's still not a good choice of song to cover, but it doesn't sound that different than Green Day's. Honestly, the production's a little thinner, but I don't know. I think it's more like C for me.
yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
B,
Sure.
if you're A, I'm C. All right, American Woman by Lenny Kravitz.
One of my all-time least favorite songs. Hated it from the beginning. American Woman, yeah. I was gonna say American Idiot. He's an idiot for covering the song, but American Woman is a pretty lousy song to begin with, and I don't think he does it any favors with his take. So probably an A for me.
I am both a big Lenny supporter and a big Guess Who supporter. It's not my favorite Guess Who song, not even close, but I still like their version. This cover though is very ham-fisted. So many of these songs come from soundtracks too. I believe this was Austin Powers that this came from. And eventually was a bonus track on his album 5. I don't think it's like S bad. It's worse than the American Idiot cover, though. I think it's probably an A.
Throw it in A. Throw it in A.
All right, next we've got the Ataris with their cover of Don Henley's Boys of Summer.
Well, my band has been playing this kind of version of we kind of go back and forth between the Don Henley and this one. So I don't really mind this version. I liked hearing it on 105.9 The X here in Pittsburgh when it was around because it was still better than most of the stuff that was coming out on the alternative world. So for me, it's like a D or an F, really. I think it's a pretty decent cover of it.
Yeah, and I think especially compared to a lot of what's here, it's a better cover than most of these. I don't know if it's quite F good, but it's at least D.
Hard to tell.
We'll put it in D for now. We can always move it down to F. All right, next we've got Five Finger Death Punch and their cover of Bad Company.
S for me, dog.
Yeah, it's real bad. They're
I hate it so much.
just a horrible band. I can't imagine them covering anything and it not being an S. All right. Then we've got Counting Crows with Big Yellow Taxi.
Why don't you go first on this one?
Well, again, I'm a huge supporter of Counting Crows, one of my favorite bands, especially of the 90s. So there's two versions of this. The original pressing of their Hard Candy album had a version without Vanessa Carlton on it. Apparently, the plan was to always have her on it, but she didn't make the deadline or wasn't able to do it in time. So all future versions have her on it. She was on the radio single version of it. The version with Vanessa Carlton is far more insufferable than the regular version. If we're talking the Vanessa Carlton version, it's probably like a C for me. And without Vanessa Carlton, I think it's like a D tier cover.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite Joni Mitchell songs to begin with, and I really hated the radio version with Vanessa Carlton. Just I don't know, too I think ham-handed. You said ham-fisted for Lenny Kravitz, I think. Just the it's like perky and kind of gross and annoying. So to me, it's very much in line with American Woman levels of bad cover song.
So you're thinking like A-ish. I, I guess we're considering the Vanessa Carlton version. So if you're A, I'm like C. You go B.
Sure.
You go like top of B. Then we've got Orgy with Blue Monday. I actually heard this before I ever heard the original version. Uh,
I may have too, so that maybe that colors my appreciation for this one. I don't mind this one. I think it's kind of a fun thing for an industrial like metal band to do. And I think they play it pretty well. It's D for me, similar to Boys of Summer.
yeah, I think it's D too. It's not like wow, this is great. This is an improvement, but it doesn't strike me as like awful. I don't think it's a bad cover really.
No, I think it was actually a pretty canny choice for a band like that to cover a song like that because it kind of has the same like groove and it translated well to the band, who's not a great band, but I thought that was a decent cover.
All right, then we've got Paris Hilton uh cover of Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy?
It's pretty terrible. She's a terrible artist. I was hoping maybe this one would be like kind of campy fun, like the original, but it's just shitty. So uh I would say safe for me.
I'd never heard this before, but I expected it to be like hilariously bad. And it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. The track is just like it almost sounds like they just took the Rod Stewart bass line. Like the track itself is just fine. And she's singing on it, and it's actually not as bad as I expected it to be. I don't think it might be A or B, but I expected like straight to S with Paris Hilton, but
B's fine.
yeah, I think it's B. All right, then we have Smash Mouth with I'm a Believer from the Shrek soundtrack, Monkey song.
I think it's pretty fashionable to hate on Smash Mouth, but I don't hate on Smash Mouth. I think All Star was overplayed, but there's a couple Smash Mouth songs that I dig. I don't mind this one. It's probably a D for me. It's similar to Atari's and Orgy.
I think
Maybe
it's
a C. It might be a little bit more annoying.
yeah, I think it's a little more annoying. I think it's C. But I'll second your general. I hate All Star. I think it's awful. But the singles that they had before All Star, Walking on the Sun and When the Morning Comes, I think are kind of good. So yeah, don't hate Smash Mouth. Britney Spears, I love rock and roll.
Uh, God, this one's tough. It's a really bad cover. I love rock and roll that much, so I don't really care that she put her stamp on it. But it's a really lousy rendition, I think, of it, and it doesn't add or like update it in any meaningful way.
See, I
So
think it's trying way too hard to update it. Like the kind of beat that they put on it, it's just like it feels so forced and like they're trying to like make it fit her sound when it just I don't know. I think it's a very clumsy cover. I would put it in A probably.
yeah, it's definitely an
All right. Now, if you look around online at like message boards or different articles about the worst covers ever, this one comes up on almost all of them. Last Kiss by Pearl Jam. I forget your stance on this. We're both
A.
Pearl Jam fans.
This put me off Pearl Jam for a long time, unfortunately. Years I didn't like Pearl Jam because of this song, because this was the first Pearl Jam song I remember hearing by them. Because I started listening to radio like 98, like right when this came out. And I was just like, this band is so lame. This song sucks. I hate it. It was everywhere. And I still hate it. It's an S for me. It's one of my
Oh,
least favorite songs of all time.
it's an F for me. I love it. It actually turned me on to Pearl Jam.
So, that is so weird. Okay. That's bizarre. That's really weird.
So, where do we put it?
I guess in a C. C.
C or B?
I mean, it can't be as bad as I think it is, but like it just totally ruined like Pro Jam for a long time for me.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I know everyone hates it, but I just never had any problem with it. I think it's a good cover. Might even like it more than the original.
I think the original is pretty lousy, so it's
All
not
right.
outlandish.
We'll throw it in the middle somewhere and just call it truce. All right, next up, we've got a weird one. It is Trivium covering REM, Losing My Religion.
What a bizarre choice. I don't know. Kind of, this one, it's like, is it a good song? Like original song, yes, very good. No, I kind of give them points for covering an REM song,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I don't know if I'd like really want to listen to it.
No. Yeah, Losing My Religion, not a song that was like crying out to be metaled up. I think it's like A or B.
Yeah, probably. It's just not a good cover. Like good thinking outside the box there, Trivium, but I think you missed the point of the whole thing.
Next, we've got Boys in the Hood covered by Dynamite Hack. You remember this?
I do.
I hate this so much. And it kicked off this trend of like acoustic dude hip hop covers that I just could not stand.
I got some good memories about this song, so I kind of think it's fun. I put it in D.
Ooh, it's like probably A for me. I do not like the vibe of like these dudes like acoustifying.
Terrible vibe.
It's a
Just the
bad,
worst vibe.
it's just not good.
No,
Uh,
it should never have been done. I kind of respect what they did, despite it then leading to so many just terrible copycats.
wait, where do you want to put it? C, you're in D. We can go C or B with it.
You can go B. I don't want to give it too much credit.
Okay. Next, we've got two versions of Johnny Be Good on the tier list today. The first one coming from Elton John, one of the most inexplicable recordings ever by a major artist. This like weird, long ass cover, disco Johnny Be Good by Elton John.
It's bizarre. It really is. It's I don't hate this album nearly as much as most people seem to. I think it's kind of campy fun, but this is the low light of it for me. And it's like a C for me. I think it's pretty lousy, but it's not nearly like the career wrecking lousy that people seem to think it is.
I think it's more like A or B, so I'm gonna go B.
Sure.
All right. Next, we have Disturbed's cover of Sound of Silence, which I'll take the lead on this. I think this is one of the worst recordings in human history. It is so bad, and the fact that it had like this viral moment and people talked about like how moving it was and what a great vocal performance just absolutely drove me insane. I think he sounds like absolute ass on this song. It is so bad.
Uh, I there's a couple Disturbed songs that I like. I don't hate them as much as like Shine Down or Five Finger Death Punch, stuff like that. But this is one of the worst covers ever and made much worse by the fact that it was everywhere. Like it was in commercials and on the radio. It was inescapable and it just sucks. Like it sucks. They should never be doing this kind of thing. Stick to the cheesy, over the top metal. Please do not try to be serious. It is an S for me.
Thank God. All right, good. Next, we have Sheryl Crow and her cover of Sweet Child O' Mine.
Man, this sucks too. This just sucks out all the life from the song. Like the dynamics, the emotion, the passion, just completely gone in Sheryl Crow's version. She sings it like so straight and like just I don't know what the hell she was thinking. It's one of my least favorite covers. And it probably made me disrespect Sheryl Crow a lot more than I should have because I actually find her pretty good in most cases, but to me this is it's pretty close to an S. I don't know.
I
Probably
don't,
an A.
yeah, I think it's not an S. I think it's kind of in line with American Woman, about that same quality. All right, then we've got Marilyn Manson, Sweet Dreams. The Rhythmics cover. I don't know. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. This is probably D tier for me. Kind of like I don't think it's a great cover. I don't think it's better than the original, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's probably a D. I think it's a cool, as uncool as he is, I think it's a pretty cool cover of a song.
All right, back to back weeks in March Badness tier list. We got Bret Michaels again with his cover of Sublime's "What I Got." I didn't know this existed until today. It's so bad.
I mean, what I got, I never want to hear that song again in my life. And this just really drove that point home for me. He is just a lousy singer, songwriter, coverer, whatever. Bret Michaels is just, he's not a good musician. I know he's Pittsburgh's own,
Not,
but
he's trying to claim that he's not really from here.
um, it,
This is borderline S for me. I think it's hilariously bad.
it's close. I don't know if the original song's good enough for me to like say that this ruined it. So I think I'd have to go with A,
That's fair.
but
That's fair.
it's pretty bad.
All right. Then we've got The Used covering Burning Down the House by Talking Heads from the Transformers soundtrack. I'd never heard this before either. This is pretty bad.
I'm gonna go out and defend the used a little bit because I think they have a couple good songs. This is maybe my least favorite movie of all time, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Saw it in theaters. I thought the first Transformers was great. This is one of the worst sequels of all time. And this song, this cover is one of the worst covers I think I've ever heard. Like they just completely missed the mark on everything. It's almost unrecognizable, and that's not like a good thing. Like it's not like they're like reforming it in their own cool image. It's just like a total debacle, total mismatch. Um, S for me.
It's like, yeah, we can go S with it. It's maybe more like high A for me, but yeah, that's fine. Then we've got the other version of Johnny Be Good here, a Judas Priest version. I believe this is Ram It Down, right? Is the album it's on? Uh, I think it's better than Elton's version.
I agree. It's not, it's better than you'd think it would be, maybe from Judas Priest. No, it's a good song. I forget where I have it. I've ranked every single Judas Priest song. Let me see where it ended up. I have it at 200 or so out of the 220 songs that they've done or so. It's odd because they use like a completely different instrumental, like than Johnny Be Good. Like it's the lyrics and then completely different instrumental part. So just a very bizarre choice. I think for this list, it's like a C probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. Well, I don't know where you'll fall on this one. This is Gary Clark Jr. Doing Come Together by the Beatles for the Justice League movie. I hate this so much. I think it's so bad. This is S tier for me. I think it is just maybe the worst Beatles cover I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't really like covers of Come Together. I don't really like Come Together that much. I think it's pretty good. Never been one of my favorite Beatles songs, but this is just like made for a comic book movie kind of cover that just like I think it's on the same level as like Disturbed Sound of Silence and Bad Company. So I think I would go S too. Like it's a complete sellout
Yeah, I mean it feels
song.
like the bumpers between like NFL Tonight or something like just
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee they made this for a trailer, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's so sweet, dude. Beatles
yeah, we'll
in
make
between."
it for a movie, but we'll also make sure that it sounds like it could be used at sporting events and like it's really really bad. It's
Mhm.
embarrassing. All right. Then we got 311's version of The Cure's Love Song, which was a big hit, actually. I remember it getting played quite a lot back when it came out from the 51st Dates soundtrack.
Yeah, I always hated it when it was played on the X and on the dial on the radio. Not embarrassingly bad though. It's it's obviously not as good as the Cure version, and it's kind of like super white boy on the beach reggae was kind of lame. It's not unlistenable though, so I'd probably put it like a B or a C.
I think it's C. It's like in this weird like middle ground between like not changing it enough. Like I actually remember reading an article about it where they were talking about how they tried to match like the exact BPM of the original song. So it's like the exact same speed and like I don't know, but they add this like reggae feel to it. So like it's very similar and but everything they changed was a bad move. So yeah, it's weird. It sucks. Um all right, Kelly Osbourne with Papa Don't Preach.
I kind of like the song. I'm
Yeah,
not
me
gonna
too. I
lie.
think I kind of like how she pop punks it up a little. Like the different drum beat that she uses is kind of works for it.
Yeah, it's an F for me. Just
All the
easy
all
F. I think it's a pretty good cover actually.
I don't know if it's all the way to F, but sure, we'll do it. I was thinking more
Yeah, we gotta
D.
put something there, and I
Yeah,
only see
I got
one.
two more that I will argue F for.
Okay, all right, we'll see.
Next, we've got One Direction in their cover of One Way or Another by Blondie.
Mm, pretty bad. I don't know. I just don't think it's a song One Direction should cover.
It's so bad. It's so bad. The vocals sounds ridiculous on it. It's pretty close to S for me. It's high A S territory for me.
I wouldn't go S for it. I'm fine with A.
Next up, we've got Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, covered by Nickelback featuring Kid Rock.
Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. I hate this version. I've heard it before. Forget where. Maybe worst cover songs of all time lists I was looking at. And there's just nothing good about it. Like the only thing remaining, like everything's stripped out except for the guitar, and it just sounds like a Nickelback song. And I mean that derogatorily.
It sounds
Derogatory.
exactly like you think it's going to sound when you think of it in your head. Like, imagine
Yeah.
Nickelback doing Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. That's exactly what it sounds like, and that's a
hmm
horrible thing.
hmm Yeah, everything good about that song is taken away by Chad Kroger and Kid Rock. S for me. I hate it so much.
All right, next we got another Britney Spears cover. This is I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Was this on an album? Like I'm trying to remember.
I think it
I feel like
is.
they were trying to like position her as like a singer of rock and roll at some point. So they kept like throwing like bad covers on her albums. Yeah, I think this was on her second album.
Yeah, I think it's one of the earlier ones.
Yeah, Oops, I Did It Again, 2000. I don't understand why they would do this to her and like who they were targeting.
It's like the I Love Rock and Roll. It's the same problem. It's like this very forced, ill-advised arrangement.
Yeah,
It
it's the fourth song on her album too. Like it's right in the middle, and you get, oh yeah, let's throw Rolling Stones, a song that came out 40 years ago, just in the middle of Pop Princess's sophomore album.
Yeah, makes no sense.
No, no, it doesn't.
A? or you want to go higher with it?
I think A. It's still not as bad as Nickelback.
Yeah, I agree. All right, then we got Alien Ant Farm's Smooth Criminal.
I think it's universally agreed upon that this is a amazing cover.
Yeah.
And
Well, not universally because I saw it somewhere on a worst covers ever list,
okay, well,
but
people are wrong and bad, and it's clearly an F.
yeah, I agree completely with that. Then we've got Michael Bolton, When a Man Loves a Woman, probably the version of it that I heard the most for a long time when it was out and new. I mean, it's lame. It's definitely kind of like,
Hella lame. Hella lame. That goes without question.
well,
But
yeah, is it the, I don't think it's nearly as bad as a lot of the stuff here.
yeah, I'd have it C or D.
I think it's C. Then we've got Maroon 5 covering Bob Marley's
Put it in
Three
this.
Little
Just
Birds.
put it. I don't even want to explain this song. It is, yeah, Maroon 5 covering Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. It's my God. It's bad. It's awful.
Then we have Bad Wolves covering
Yeah,
Cranberry Zombie. This
I
might
hate
be
this
S
song.
too. This is really bad.
It is exactly like the Stupid Bad Company cover and the Sounds of Silence cover. Like it is just like the worst butt rock covering a song that had at least like a little nuance when the Cranberries did it. It's one of again one of my least favorite covers of all time. Just
I
easy.
I would urge everyone to go read the band bio on Spotify. It's absolutely hilarious. All right. Ugly Kid Joe's cover of Cats in the Cradle.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's bad, but I don't know exactly where this belongs. I don't think it belongs in S or A. I don't think it belongs in F. So I'm looking at like B through D, I think. Probably.
I'm fine with a C for that one.
Okay. This is one that I just put here because I know a lot of people hate it. David Bowie covering God Only Knows. I think it's incredible. And if it wasn't God Only Knows, it would probably be better than the original. Like only because the bar is so high for what he's covering. But I think it is an absolutely incredible version and an F for me.
I think comparatively, it's probably an F. I don't get the hate for it.
All right, then we got Jessica Simpson covering These Boots Are Made for Walking.
I think it's slightly better than the Britney ones, just by virtue of the
Really?
song chosen. So, I don't know, probably like a B.
I don't know. I think it's on par with the Britney ones. That's probably A for me. So, yeah, we can put it high B, low A. Okay. Behind Blue Eyes.
It's got to be my my nominee. If I had to pick one cover to be the worst cover of all time, it would probably be this one.
Yeah, we'll go S with it. It would probably be just A for me, actually. But
Oh, wow. Wow.
then we've got Madonna covering American Pie.
I really don't like it.
Yeah, it's bad. I think it's A, probably.
Yeah, probably. I'm fine with that.
Then we've got Rascal Flatts covering Life is a Highway.
You know, I don't mind it. I think it's a pretty straightforward, slightly countrified cover of a pretty good song, and I think their version is about as good as the original.
I don't know that I'd say it's as good as the original. Theirs sounds really like processed. The vocals sound all just like completely fake. But yeah, they don't change a lot. It's not like significantly different. Like a B for me, probably. Maybe C.
I do see.
Next, we have Hilary Duff covering The Who, My Generation. It's it's really bad. It's baffling.
It's yeah, just why? Why would they do this to poor Hillary for one thing? And why would they do it to the Who fans? Probably didn't think any of them would ever hear this song, to be honest. But um I don't know. S, A, it's up there.
I mean, yeah, you can make the case for S, I think. It's real bad. It's like they thought like, well, you're representative of your generation, so you should be singing this song. I'm just totally missing the point.
Not quite how it works.
Yeah, it's real bad. Then we've got Godsmack covering Joe Walsh's Rocky Mountain Way.
This was a treat hearing this because it's just the same as those other horrible butt rock bands, the Bad Companies. It's an S. There's just no redeeming qualities. Even if you don't hate Godsmack, there's just no reason to ever do this song and
Yeah.
to do it the way they do it. It's just no.
Well, there you go. Anything you want to move? We talked about possibly moving Atari's down to F, but
Yeah, but then D's a little too small. That's tough. And you could maybe put the Kelly up in D, but
swap them
well, yeah,
or just
it
leave that.
doesn't really matter. I think the two and F are definitely superior to the D's. So
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I think that looks good. All right. Let us know what you think of our tier list. What did we get wrong? Drop it in the comments. Of course, let us know what other terrible covers are out there. We could always do this again someday. I'm sure there's tons and tons of others that would work just fine. So let us know. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one.